Okay, now the fun part, the breakout rooms. So an important thing to do first is to make sure you load the slide for work. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Now some of your options, let's go ahead and upload a presentation. I went ahead and put this midterm review up. So it's in portrait mode. And first of all, I don't know if you noticed, but I can actually size these things. That's too big. I'm going to go ahead and knock off my camera there for a second. Let's see. Actually, that's how I knock off my camera. I knew that. Ah, that's not what I wanted. I wanted to stop sharing webcam. There we go. So that makes it a little bit bigger, but I've been tutoring and like, oh, this doesn't look so good, right? So how can you fix it so that the students can actually see the whole page, all right? You can actually say fit to width, and hopefully that will fix most of the stuff. How do they move up and down? Make sure they know to use the little hand and that they can move up and down, right? Whoever moves it for everybody. And make sure that they turn on a multi-user whiteboard so that they can work on it. So you want to make sure you go through some of these presentation tools if you have them working on a PDF in the breakout room, okay? So I'll go ahead and just leave this. Well, let me go switch back to my other steps. So then after that, let's go back to bits. Now the nice thing is it always defaults to the last page you were on. So I'm still on the breakout room page. The number of rooms, we need to figure that out. I've done 8. It's a little hard to manage 8. 4 or 5, if you have a small enough class, is great. If you have 2, then it's just kind of weird. All right, duration defaults to 15 minutes, so make sure you set that to what you want. Then you have a lot of options on room assignments, and know that the first person into the room is the presenter. So if you're the first person in the room, click on a student and make them the presenter, okay? And I'll show you an example of that, okay? Then make sure you join every room, and I will walk you through that. So let's go back. Now, one thing I frequently like to do is actually use something like a Google slide. I'm going to play with the Jamboard today to see your feedback and let you do group work. Okay, so breakout rooms, where do we find it? Right here, create breakout rooms. I'm only going to create 2 because that's all we need, all right? And we're not going to take very long. I'm setting it to 5. Now, I can allow the users to choose which breakout room, and that's my preferred mode for my AP students because they have groups they like to work with. I can also randomly assign them, and it only assigns the students, not you, all right? And I'm going to go ahead and put myself in the other room. So you can also manually drag people to different rooms. It is kind of a pain though. That's why I like having my predetermined groups where they're like, okay, this is your group. Make sure you go to that room. So I usually prefer this, which is allow users to choose a breakout room to choose, okay, to join. The advantage to this is if they get out and if they get disconnected and they come back in, they can just pick the room. So what will it look like? So let me hit create and see how I have my choices here on my breakout rooms. So a lot of times you got to tell them that to look at the room numbers because it may not be the room they want to go in. If they go to the wrong room, exit the session, come back in, and then they'll get prompted again. All right, so I'll say join room. And then you hear all these dun dun, dun dun. So, and my student is actually being prompted to join a room of 2, so I'm going to join a room. And I'm not going to worry too much. We'll just do listen only for the moment because I'm not trying to talk to them. So again, make sure, so I'm the first person. I need to make this person the presenter. Now I can click on the tabs above and see all my breakout rooms. So click on breakout rooms and you can see there's no one in room 1, and that's okay. All right. So, because I'm just demonstrating this to you. So when I have tutorial sessions, I'll have tutors sitting in a room and I'll be joining their room because I can join more than one. What does that look like? Here, I'll just do listen as well here.
The only person in this conference.
So it basically means I have different tabs and I just kind of line them up, make sure they're in order. Let me go to this breakout room here, make sure that my student is the presenter. Well, actually, it's not that big a deal. The one thing, Yeah. Take presenter. There we go. Make sure, you might need to remind them to hit this width thing here so that it fits, and to use the hand so that it's properly zoomed in or out. So they'll have to like slide it through here. The nice thing is you can have, you can only do one slide. And odds are you don't want them to doing more than a whole page of work anyways, but they will be sharing the screen. So when it moves for everybody. So you can't just assume that, oh, they're going to see one can work on one or two. However, let me go back to the main room. You might have them see remember how I told you could make them download it? So they could actually download the presentation there, and it just pops up like so, and there it is. So they can actually download the presentation. So it might actually be better instead to give them just blank space to work on. So it's your option. Let me go ahead. I'm going to close these breakout rooms. You can see I have 2 minutes and 33 seconds. How do I end all breakout rooms? I just hit end all breakout rooms, and I'm just going to do listen only because there's nobody listening
in this conference.
And what I would probably do in this case is I would actually do the default and confirm, and then move it to like some nice slide where they can work, and you can just keep adding slides onto this forever. So let's do breakout rooms again one more time. So create breakout rooms. 2, we'll do randomly assign, allow users, and there we go. Create. I'm in room 2, join room, and I'm in room 1 on the tablet. So now this time I'll see that there's no one in this room in particular.
In this conference.
And let me go join the other room. Make sure you click on breakout rooms so I can see, there's my student. Join that room. And that student already has presenter because they're the first one. So the student needs to know how to take presenters, how to do these tools. Sadly, on the slide, again, it's only the one. So the other thing that I have my students do besides use this, if I have any links, I would put them in the chat, like go to this link. Like if it was a Google slide or some other, like a Desmos activity or a Staplet or some other activity that I might have, or a Pear Deck, I would say, I would type in the link, and I can just type that link in all the rooms, because what happens is, let's say you put the link in front like you should have, somebody's not going to copy it down, all right? And so you want to make sure to have that link there. All right, we'll start sharing. So you want to make sure to have your link in the chat so that they can get to it, and then go to all the breakout rooms, make sure they have whatever link you have. So that's breakout rooms. It's pretty straightforward. And there's one last note I wanted to add. When the students are in the breakout rooms, they can actually, they're like moderators, so they can see each other's cameras. They can share each other's computer screens. I've had students share a screen with me when we've been troubleshooting something. So they pretty much have moderator power in those breakout rooms, just an FYI.